Good morning, and let's start our day with a little Carlos King. So, this is his recap of the first episode of Housewives of Atlanta. I'm interested in hearing what he saw that we didn't. And today's guest is Dave Quinn. Dave Quinn works for People magazine and he does all their housewives stuff. He's interviewed a lot of them. He looks like Tintin. That's the best way I could describe him. He looks like Tintin from The Adventures of Tintin. Not the dog, but the honky. Carlos King calls his fans the raindrops. I may like you, honey, but I ain't a raindrop in your storm. Oh, REIGN drop? No, boo. I'm sorry, nothing with drops. You can come up with something better. Call us the kingdom. Citizens of the kingdom. But raindrops? Drop? No, honey. That's as bad as poo confidant. So Carlos is here for the gag that the girls did their own promo shoot while Nene accuses Bravo of bias and prejudice. So apparently the girls did their own promo behind Bravo's back. They didn't like it, but they didn't tell him they didn't like it. Okay, now Dave brought up a good point. They might have done it because this is a make or break Atlanta season. And they trying to get their fan base back. So maybe that's why they said, you know what, we gonna do our own photo and put a little flavor in it. Wait, Marlo's Dorothy Dandridge look was supposed to be mocking Kenya's appearance on Dancing with the Stars? I missed that. And Marlo, I'ma say this, in Kenya's defense, you'll never be a star anyone dances with. You might have gotten your peach, but you got a long way to go to get to network. And actually, the show's been canceled or put to Peacock. But maybe you could do a celebrity boxing match. Girl, they said Sheree filmed her scene before the ink was dry on her contract. So basically, Bravo didn't know if they were going to use her or not, calling her saying, oh, your contract came through. No, that means they decided to sign too because they were desperate. Just like you were to keep your mold-filled edifice. That's why you put it in your mama name. That kind of desperate. Surprised they didn't call Thelma. Oh, the girls were freaking out because they didn't even know she was filming. So I guess the other friends of the show just didn't test that well. And they said, well, I guess we gotta use it. They kept you on standby, honey. You working on a buddy pass. Kenya is the uncredited executive producer of Atlanta Housewives. Because she knows how to pick at Sheree's prison phallus? Because she can pick on Portia? I don't see what's so interesting or glamorous about her little calf-length dresses and poor attitude. Okay, she can pick a fight, but she can't calm one down. She can't be fair. She can't be supportive of other women. And she can't stay moisturized. Oh, he said, well, at least Sheree and Kenya know how to do a scene and make it interesting. The rest of the ladies need to be reminded they're on reality television. He's talking to you, Candy. He's talking to you. Carlos says it's Marlo's season, and I agree. But do we have to keep using force multiplier? It doesn't even roll off the tongue. Force multiplier. No, we don't. We don't need to say that. What about just a catalyst? How about catalyst? I prefer turd stir. That's what Marlo does. She stirs the turd. Marlo has been on Housewives for 10 years. That's the longest interview ever. Oh, Carlos said, look, the glory days of the show are over. And I agree with that. I guess we're going to watch it limp on, gonna watch the show now. Limp on, the ratings low now. Limp on. He said we have to accept the show will never be what it was. The heyday of Nene Leakes, Cynthia Bailey, Phaedra Parks. Oh, the days we had, my friend, how we thought they'd never end. He said we can't focus on the past, but if we look at what the show can be, it could be cute. Carlos is really trying to read Marlo's invitate, saying she had a model reading an invitation off of a used MacBook Pro from the Genius Bar. Do we feel Portia's absence? No, because I want to see who Kenya is without Portia around. I also feel like We won't have the Portia and Candy energy anymore. I'm looking forward to seeing a different group dynamic, but not Drew's wigs. He said Marlo, Sanya, and Drew are the future of the franchise, child, and it ain't got no hope. Not Drew, boo. Not Drew. And we barely know Sanya. Marlo, I could kind of see her being the new Queen Bee or Force Multiplier. I mean, she is very John Amos, so maybe that gives enough masculinity. They said Drew is giving story? You mean lie. Oh, thank goodness. Dave said it best. He iffy about you if you come on with a bad marriage because we never knew your husband during the happy times. And he asked, how much of this is performative? All, honey, all. It's fake as Mama D's front tooth. Oh, they ain't sure about Drew's weight loss and if it would be a lucrative business because her weight loss looks lukewarm. I mean, that side-by-side photo didn't show that much difference for there to be 25 pounds of difference, but there could have been. Maybe it was just a bad angle. But what else could Drew do? Not wigs. Not weight loss. Maybe she could get involved in local theater. Dave said the business would make more sense for Sheree. More sense than she buy. And more dollars, too. Then they bring up Marlo saying that Kenya was driving Lisa Ray's Range Rover. When was that? When did Lisa Ray have a Range Rover? Lisa Ray had her Bentley repossessed, I remember that. But how did that come up? Carlos gives Marlo a warning. He said, look, it might have taken you 10 years to get your peach, but don't get too big for your britches now. 'Cause Kenya paid you dust at your own gala. She pulled a Nene and gave you this right here. Dave said, well, Kenya's watched you come and go for years now. And none of your business was in the street. So she might pay it a little bit. And I agree. Also, Kenya's got to have somebody to pick on. I actually agree with Dave on this. I'm glad Marlo is going after Candy, because Candy don't do shit. She sits there like a bump on a stump, cashing checks and having sex. Carlos said he wants to see Marlo's honker. We can't really give thoughts so far on the newest housewife because it was just episode 1. I feel like she's gone give. I see potential. Okay, so now we talk about Sonya's husband, who is hot. Carlos thinks he's the hottest on reality TV, and Dave said Evan Gold, whatever, would like to have a word. Jackie's husband from Jersey. He cute too. But Mauricio has more money than all of them, so I'm going to take Kyle's husband. Oh, Carlos said Ralph and Drew are giving us Love and Marriage Atlanta with their plot line. They sure is. See, that's where they need to be. They need to be on Love and Merge. That's more they speed. But now all talk turns to Potomac. And Carlos asked Dave, what do you think about the Darby's divorce? He said, well, the fans think it's a long time coming, but we have questions. I think more like suspicions. Or just shit we know. I don't really have questions. He likes Bussy. Oh, Michael may not be filming this season, so is Ashley doing this shit for the show? Are her and her coot trying to con us? Oh my God, the read Dave just gave. So Carlos asked him about the rumor that Candace's husband, Chris, was inappropriate with some of the women this season. And Dave said maybe Giselle has just been mistreated by men for so long, she's mistaking kindness for malice. Because that just doesn't seem like who Chris is. Oh, that was a read. I want to see where we're getting this information from, because I don't see that from Chris either. I don't see Chris going after the women. I see Michael going after the men. I see Michael going after Chris. Well, no, Chris ain't white. So now Michael don't want him. I can see Michael going after Juan. Don't grab that pussy. But I don't see Chris grabbing Bus. Carlos, why you want to see more Juan Dixon this season? I don't like seeing him mistreat Robin. I mean, he eggs her hard. That dutiful expression on his face, it's just sad. All right, there's going to be a wild card this season. Someone else from the Housewives universe may be coming into play. But who? So now we getting some tea. Carlos was asked to be the executive producer for Dallas. So Carlos said he would do it with Kingdom Reign Productions. The current producer who had done the first season wasn't going to share production rights with them. So therefore the conversation ended. Now this might be tea Nene could use for her suit. Because Carlos has a strong reputation with Bravo, why not hire the black man's company? It might be because whoever did the first season might have owned the rights to it or whatnot, so that could have been it too. See, this is why, Carlos, you gotta come on and tell us about the business side of shit. We could do that when I come on. So they talk about Dallas and they don't see it coming back. Carlos said, give me Real Housewives of Houston, and Dave said, well, there's never been a Housewives produced by a black production company. Take a note, Nene, take a note. They giving you evidence over here, girl. Carlos King, the flamer who fans the flames. All right, well, that was the shit they actually gave. Carlos, I'm starting to like your little show. When am I coming on? All right, I'm going to see you soon. For something.